How's it going, everyone? So on June 6, 2026, I got to do something I never thought I would do. I watched the series finale of the Amazing Digital Circus in a movie theater. Yeah, that's right, I was one of the people who watched the Amazing Digital Circus, the final act, in theaters. I actually bought my tickets a few days prior, and no joke, tickets were sold out. I actually managed to get the final ticket a few days prior, so thank God for that. So I walked into my local Cineplex, bought some snacks of course, sat down and joined a room full of fans just like me who have been watching the show for 3 years since it came out. Some people brought their markable plushie of Jax, and others were cosplaying as Pomni, Ragatha, Gandalf, and even fucking Cosmo of all people. Then the lights went down, and me and everyone in the room was ready to watch the Amazing Digital Circus, the last act. And then we get the fucking fish from episode 7.
Hey there, iconic Digital Circus character Orange Talking Fish here, welcoming you to the Amazing Digital Circus, the last act screening, where you will be watching episode 8 and the grand finale, episode 9, in an amazing movie-length experience. If you have not watched the rest of the episodes, then you've got like 30 seconds to catch up, so. Also here to remind you to turn all mobile devices to silent, and to please not film or spoil anything you see here tonight. You can share all of your reactions online, but just please God, no spoilers. Usually Cade does these things, but he couldn't make it because he died. You know, I was medically dead for 4 minutes once. There was no one waiting for me. It was blackness. There's nothing after it. I think for some people they see something, but for me it was black and nobody was there. I think God doesn't want me. I don't know what I did. You should also keep your eyes bugged out for a QR code at the end of the screening that gives you early access to finale merch in the online store. Guys, I don't want to die. Please don't go.
What the fuck?
Welcome to the finale screening. Dude, you missed it.
So after the fish's existential breakdown, we then hear the voice of beloved Ringmaster, Kane.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Say it with me. Welcome to the Amazing Digital Recap. After placing a strange headset on her fragile human cranium, our sad little jester, Pomni, finds herself in the Amazing Digital Circus, a whimsical, fun-filled virtual paradise that you can probably never ever leave. Don't focus on the never ever leave part though. That sort of thinking leads to abstraction, which leads to the cellar, which leads to a lot of screaming that's frankly terrible for Bubbles' sensitive ears. Running this circus is me, your charming, benevolent ringmaster, Kane. And it's inhabited by other humans like Gangle and Zubul and Ginger too. Ragatha, Jax, and there's The gang then does some amazing digital things like running, rushing, growing as people, learning to look both ways, miscellaneous, and gun safety. Through it all, Pomni begins to realize that maybe, just maybe, this digital circus ain't so bad. Especially when she has friends to suffer with. Suffer with. Also, Kenyer might have helped create the circus? Who knows? The guy's as crazy as a guy who's crazy. But there's one human that Pomni just can't seem to understand. Jax, who after a normal and healthy adventure involving unregistered firearms, has a legendary crash out and pushes Pomni away, emotionally and physically. And right as they were just getting close, oh, the drama! Meanwhile, it slowly begins to dawn on my big brain that perhaps my lovingly crafted adventures of horror and pain may not be appealing to a group of fragile human psyches, but then realize that's ridiculous because they totally love me. Right? So, for no particular reason, I devised my biggest adventure yet. Using a totally real and not suspicious human named Abel, I created a scenario where the humans had to decide whether they wanted to escape the circus or stay with me forever. The details of what went down are extremely simple and not confusing. But the important part is, at the end of the day, Jax, of all people, made the right choice to stay in the circus forever. I don't entirely understand why. He's going through some things. He's sad about a frog, I think. Humans are really confusing. Anyway, now you're all caught up to the thing that aired for free 6 months ago. Bye!
From there, we jump back into episode 8. Watch Kane finally lose his shit.
Humans!
Then after tormenting the shit out of the entire cast, Kane finally, accidentally mind you, deletes Kane.
I accidentally killed Kane. Holy shit.
And that was a recap of what happened in episode 8. And now we finally get to the fucking finale. And it opens with the same intro from the very first episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. With a small difference, being that Kane and Bubble are gone because Kane fucking died. And the cast looked fucking traumatized. Then it immediately picks back up where episode 8 left off. Everybody's dealing with the aftermath of Kane's death. Until we get the biggest reveal in the entire series that the entire cast, Ragatha, Pomni, Jax, Gangle, Subal, and Kinner, are all digital copies.
Called it.
The entire cast pretty much processes that shit real quick. They probably have like a minute to be all like, oh god, we're not real. And then they get over it really quickly. Well, I say everybody, except for Jazz, because motherfucker got distracted. Then, with the power of friendship, Pomni was able to enter into Jack's subconscious. I don't know how she did it. I don't know you could do that. But she did, and this entire scene felt like an acid trip.
The fuck is this? The fuck is that? The fuck are those?
From there, Pomni meets 4 versions of Jax. There's this one Jax, which I like to call Creepypasta Jax. The reason why is because we see him, apparently after Ragatha's abstraction in his mind, choking the living shit out of Pomni, and no joke, this was the most unsettling part in this entire finale. After that, we get the return of Maid Jax, who is flirting with Subal, and when I mean flirted, as in she wants to fuck Gangle.
What? Don't act like you don't like it, sweet cheeks. Meet me in my room after the funeral. Don't be late.
And then we get Looney Tunes Jax, who I consider to be the funniest version of Jax. And the audience agrees.
I gotta do something about this. I think this calls for a change in scenery.
We then get to see the three Jazzes playing poker together, with a fourth one apparently playing the piano in the corner. May Jazz then drops the funniest line in this entire scene.
Oh boy, reality's gay. Yeah, I mean, killing off the comic relief character? What a freaking drag.
Pomni then goes through Jazz's memories, and we finally get to see the full backstory of Ribbit, Cosmo, and the entire fallout of their friendship with Jazz. And we can all agree that this whole flashback scenes was easily the highlight of the episode. Then Pomni and Jazz finally have their final heart-to-heart before Jazz is officially gone.
I don't want to go.
After that, the entire cast built a giant blanket fort to contain the distracted Jazz. And then, the next part, I'm not going to kid, I'm not lying, this next part had the entire audience completely stunned and confused. Because, Kane's alive!
How are you not dead?
I have no idea!
What? What the fuck?
So yeah, Kane's alive, and he realizes how much of a dick he was being. So he gives the circus members full control of the circus and shows them their real world selves. We finally get to see who the entire circus members are in the real world. Obviously, Pomni's a YouTuber. Rajla is a real estate agent. Stubble actually owns a bar. Jingle is faithfully alive from her car accident and has her own webcomic. Kinger has 2 daughters, and Jax is a mailman. And I'm going back to Kira for a sec. His real last name is Best. Motherfucker is the best character in the show. So Goose decided to give him the last name Best. What the heck? So anyways, in the end, everybody finds peace living in the digital world. Kane officially becomes part of the crew, and they all lived happily ever after.
That's all, freaks.
Now that was a abridged summary of the entire episode. I am not going to do a full breakdown of the finale. I'll leave that to other YouTubers like Biznom and Sarcastic Horse. Overall, it was fun. I never imagined I'd get to experience the finale on the big screen, surrounded by a community of people in my area who love the show like I did. Now that being said, there are a few problems I had with the finale. The first part was the way that they handled the revelation that the entire cast were all just digital copies, brain scans. Like the characters processed this life-changing information almost instantly. And it kind of does undercut the weight of that revelation and this big plot twist. The second part I found mostly disappointing was that Jazz abstracted off screen. Like they built this moment up since episode 6, and they did it off screen. It was the biggest missed opportunity of the entire finale, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt very disappointed by that. And the last thing, how the hell did Kane come back to life? Motherfucker got deleted. The show gives zero explanation of how he survived getting his code deleted. Like, he literally just shows up out of nowhere and everybody was literally gasping in confusion. And with those 3 things combined, the finale kinda does feel a little bit rushed. But, that being said, even with those flaws, I still really enjoyed the finale. Hands down, the best part of the entire finale is the flashback scenes with Ribbit and Cough. The mystery surrounding this character Ribbit has been building since episode 5. And unlike Jax's abstraction, the moment we get to meet this character finally, I did not feel disappointed. Every scene that Ribbit was in, I fell in love with her character, and ultimately her fallout with Jax and her abstraction was heartbreaking. So yeah, that was my experience with watching the Amazing Digital Circus, The Last Act, in theaters. I just want to say thank you to Gooseworx, Delicious Productions, the amazing voice cast, as well as everyone who worked on this series. Just thank you. You created something truly special, that you brought us all together on the big screen for a fucking YouTube indie cartoon series. Like, that is truly amazing. So, thank you to everyone who has made the Amazing Digital Circus. This has been, well, amazing.